What's up, all you samurai assassins out there? Fat Samurai Guy here with Lady Fat Blood, and welcome to another episode of The Movie Dojo, where we discuss martial arts cinema and action films. Today in the dojo, we are going to discuss John Wick Chapter 2. Now, this is spoiler-filled, so if you guys want to see the movie, which you should, go see the movie. Go out and run, see the movie right now, stop the video, come right back. Now, we're going to give you the good, we're going to give you the bad, we're going to give you the badass. First up, the good.
Okay, so I will admit that in the first 15 minutes of the movie, I was a little nervous to see where it was going because it took place immediately after the first movie. You got John Wick, he's still beat up, and he's going after, it starts with this big chase sequence, and he's going after the remainder of the Russian guys that he was basically taking care of in the first movie, and I'm thinking, oh my god, is this gonna be one of those, oh, there's still family left of the people that he killed and blah blah blah. And for the first 15 minutes, yeah, that's where that was going, but luckily, we go off in a completely different direction, and now it is the Assassin's Guild that is kind of turned on him, because what you find out is that there was this guy in the Italian section of things that helped John Wick in his impossible task to get out of the Assassin's Guild, so he could get married, live a normal life, yada yada yada. And this guy comes to him and he's like, John, you don't leave the guild and then come back without there being any repercussions. And because of this, he owes him this favor now, and it's like a blood contract, and you cannot get out of it. If he doesn't do what this guy requests of him, he's gonna die. The problem is, if he does it, he's still gonna die. And there we have our movie. He kind of takes out his target, and that's where everything kind of falls into chaos. The guy who sent him after this target in the first place, of course, turns on him because, hey, it's family and you gotta do it.
Well, I think he knew.
Yeah.
He knew that John Wick, after doing what he wanted him to do and completing his, assignment, he knew John Wick was gonna come back for him. So then he puts the contract out on John Wick in the Assassin's Guild, and everyone's getting the phone call. $7 million. It's kind of, for the most badass assassin, $7 million? Like, really?
You know what
I think it would have been a lot more.
You know what I was surprised with how many of the assassins actually tried.
Yeah.
It's like, you know who this guy is.
Hey.
And you're still trying to take this guy out. It's like, are you high? What's wrong with you? But what I did love about this movie was that it did what we wanted it to.
Yes.
It expanded on this underground assassins guild. And it showed us more of the world. It showed us more of the assassins. And it did what you want a sequel to do. It takes what they have, it acknowledges the original, and then it builds on it. And hot damn if I did not have a fantastic time watching this over 2-hour movie that did not feel anywhere
It was
near.
over 2 hours?
Didn't
Wow.
even feel like it. There's a little bit of dark humor here and there, especially the beginning.
Well, the beginning was hilarious.
We get a couple of callbacks to, we'll get one in particular, you'll know what it is when you see it. The pacing I found to be pretty decent. I liked how the movie started off really quick and stayed really action-packed, and then let itself settle and take its time, and it slowed down for the story. There's a story in here.
And now for the bad. If anyone out there is offended by extreme violence, don't see this movie, okay? This movie is not for you. Go out and watch fucking 50 Shades of fucking fuck, okay? That's your movie, all right? All right, that's your movie. If you're like, oh, I'm offended. Oh, will someone please think of the children?
Yeah.
Don't see this movie. This movie's not for fucking you.
If you're offended by fake violence,
Yeah,
fake,
fantasy.
we're
in the movies.
it's not real.
It's the movies.
And so having said that, this is not going to be a jumping on point. Yeah, if you saw the first movie and it made you vomit because of all the headshots and whatnot, Sweet Pea, this movie is not for you.
No.
Oh, Ruby Rose is a very obvious stunt double. I love how the minute her fight starts with Keanu, her hair grows about 2.5 inches over her face, but it's all in good fun.
Nitpick.
Yeah, it's fine. And just as a quick observation, this is not a negative on the film at all. Some people, though, might think that the first movie is better because you have more of an emotional connection in the first movie, because you see the character of John Wick, you feel everything that they do a really good job in the first movie in setting up who this character is, what he's been through, what the puppy means to him, and then for him to have everything taken away from him, you completely feel for this guy who's just like, you just beat the shit out of me, you left me for dead, you stole my car, and you killed my fucking dog, all for nothing. Fuck y'all, I'm going after you. And anybody can get behind that and root for that and understand that. And so in the second movie, you don't have any of that. But the trade-off is that you don't need it anymore because you've been through it. And so yeah, you don't have that emotional connection that you had in the first movie. But now in the second movie, you know the character.
You know the character.
And so it doesn't. It's like it's literally it's two parts of the same coin. It's almost like the Raid 1 and the Raid 2 in the sense that you've been through all of this with this character, and now you've taken it and you've just blown everything up, and you've given us what we wanted in seeing more of this Assassin's world. And I can't help but feel that if we get a third movie,
oh, we're getting one.
Please, for the love of God,
don't fuck us over.
This could be one of my favorite trilogies of all time if this third movie comes through and gives us what we want.
Mm-hmm. And now for the badass. Holy shit! Holy shit! The first movie, didn't know what to expect. When I saw the action sequences in the first movie, I was like, dude, what? Where did this movie come from? Right? We not only we expand on the story, not only do we expand on the Assassin's Guild and all that, we expand the fuck out of the action sequences in this movie, okay? This movie is unapologetically violent, okay?
As fuck.
As fuck. I'm talking headshots, knife fights, oh my god, like the body count. There's no comparison, okay? Yeah. If the body count was this in the first one, okay? This is the body count in the second movie, all right? It's ridiculous. When he had that shootout underground, all right, when he was trying to escape after he, completed his mark and all that, shit! The body count was so huge there that I was like, okay, this is so badass, this is so awesome. I was like, okay, that's the scene. I was like, that's it, right? No! Later in the movie, in the hotel and all this shit, another huge gigantic body count. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it doesn't get old. You don't feel bored by these action sequences. Okay, we got a pretty good throwdown fight between Common, fucking Common, who's probably the best rapper turned actor at this point.
And that fight was one of the most entertaining.
Yeah,
you even had some comedy. In this fight, there is this fantastic sequence where it goes from spot to spot to spot to spot. So you start in one place, and then at one point they end up in a subway, and then they end up on this stairs in the subway station. And at one point,
so funny.
At one point, they got their silencers on their guns. Yeah. And they don't want to shoot anybody else, of course, and that's another thing that really makes me laugh in these series. Not one stray bullet. Not one stray bullet. It hits an innocent bystander that I can remember, but anyways.
You're thinking too much.
They're trying, no, that's the beauty of these films, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You can enjoy the shit out of these movies and not give two fucks that it's unrealistic as hell, it does not matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
So they're going through with the silencers on their guns, they don't want to draw attention to themselves, so all of a sudden you see them walking and eyeballing each other. You got one on the high ground, one on the low ground, you got Common up top and Keanu on the bottom, and they're both kind of fucked up at this point, but they're both silently going...
It's so damn funny. It's so funny.
It was so beautiful.
Oh man, and why was their fight a little bit reminding me of the fight from They Live with Roddy Piper versus Keith David? It was kind of reminding me a little bit of their fight, in terms of it just being ridiculous. Oh, and props to their stunt doubles from just launching themselves down the steps.
Sweethearts.
Holy shit.
Oh, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh.
So props to all the stunt doubles and the fight choreographers and everything in this movie. And what? You could see the fight choreography? What wizardry is this? You just hold the camera and just show the fighting?
There's no quick cut editing.
What?
There was no frantic paced, seizure-inducing scenes that we had to sit through throughout the duration of the film. You could actually, when there was shaky cam, it was so minimal that you barely noticed it, and it was actually suitable for the scene.
Yes.
That was actually happening.
Yes.
There was literally no choppy editing per fighting. It was like there was no hit, cut, kick, cut, throw to the ground, cut. No, there was none of that shit.
Nope.
And after seeing the abomination that was the last Resident Evil film, I have never been more proud of an American action film in my entire life. You have done us justice, my good sir.
See, it can be done. Okay, it can be done, people. Just show the action so we can enjoy the damn thing.
I don't give a shit that Keanu's in his 50s and he moves like a slow older man. It was fine.
Everything worked.
Yeah. Damn it.
And Lawrence Fishburne was fun. It was fun. Lawrence chewing the scenery. Fishburne. Will somebody get this man a gun? They should have had some kind of Matrixy jokes in there, like, would you like some punch, red or blue? I don't know, something stupid. I'm giddy. I'm like a little kid, man. You know why? This movie's fucking awesome, man.
And the thing is you got to remember, from an American standpoint, we do not get movies like this. As entertaining as films like The Expendables can be, in the right mood, in the right situation, with the right amount of liquor in you. They are still watered down versions of what these former action stars of the 80s got involved with these projects in the first place. They wanted to kind of harken back to their glory days of the 80s where excessive violence was the norm and it was perfectly suitable. It was manly, we're men, and it was perfectly fine. And what do? They make a watered down version of their own product to suit today's audiences. Right. And I'm still disappointed to an extent with those films and that they could have been so much better than what they are. Do I hate them? No. Are they fine? Yes.
Expendables films are fun for what they are.
But that's what we tend to get. And those are, at least two of those films are rated R.
Yeah.
They barely feel like they're rated R films. Yeah. These John Wick films are hardcore rated R movies. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You cannot take your kids to see this. This is nothing that you want to show people who are sensitive to phony movie violence. And I love it. I'm sorry. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as entertaining as the Expendables films were, the fourth Rambo film that for some reason everyone hates, and it's the worst movie ever made, apparently. The fourth Rambo film is more violent than all three Expendables films. Okay? You don't believe me? Watch the fourth Rambo movie. Man, it was cool to see Ian McShane again. That guy is always awesome. And what the fuck? We got some Franco Nero in this movie. That's right. The original Django. That's right, before Jamie Foxx. The original Django, he's in this movie?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So I gotta say, I absolutely adore this film. I love the film's ending. It's a twofold reason of why I love the ending. First of all, Keanu, his character John Wick, he's been going through the motions trying to follow the rules of the Assassin's Guild this whole time, and it's gotten him absolutely jack and shit. And by the end of the movie, there are just a couple of rules that you do not break in the guild. And one of them is you do not kill on continental grounds, meaning if you go to an assassin-sanctioned hotel where the assassins' leaders are, it's their hotel, and the hotel is there to accommodate assassins, you do not kill and you do not fight on these grounds. And so the dude that he doesn't hire, he gets Keanu to say, like, hey, you owe me, John Wick, you owe me this, so you gotta do what I say, and then you'll be free, yada, yada, yada. Well, he basically, all of the guys that he sent after John Wick have died, of course, as you do in these films, and he's basically hiding behind McShane in the hotel that McShane runs. And McShane at this point had been completely on John Wick's side. And basically he was like, he told John Wick earlier in the film, you sign this blood oath with this dude. You have to do what he says or you're gonna die. After you fulfill the contract, you can go after him, you can kill him, you can do whatever the hell you want. No one's gonna stop you. But you gotta abide by the rules. And so by the end of it, the slimy, weaselly Italian mafiosa that's just had John Wick off his sister because he wants the seat in the mafiosa chair to run all the shit. He's basically, yeah, John Wick, you're not gonna do nothing. And John Wick just goes, not even lets him get out a second sentence, just blows him the fuck away. Yeah. And that was like, oh shit, because he'd been following the rules the whole time.
Jaw dropped.
Everybody knows. And the thing is, they did such a good job establishing that he wants to follow the rules because he does want to get out, and you don't fuck with the rules in this world. And he did it, and even McShane is like, John, what have you done? Yeah. And you can see, and I love that about McShane, you can see how much it hurt him that he had to do it, but he has to do it. You have to follow the rules. And, oh my God, the ending. McShane gives him a head start, but he has to call it in, and he has to go excommunicado, and he lets all the assassins know now there's this bounty on him. And the end of the movie is basically John Wick. It's right after all of this shit has gone down in this movie. He's fucked up, he's injured, he's been reunited with his doggy. Yay, the doggy doesn't die. And the end of the movie, it's that beautiful uncertainty that I love about what you can get from middle films. It's like the end of the Two Towers in The Lord of the Rings. It's like the ending of The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
In that it's so uncertain.
It's uncertain.
And it's so like, oh my God, what's gonna happen to this character that we love so much?
And you just see him just running with the dog.
And all the assassins they're like seeing him run, and it's like, it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's how you end the middle movie.
That's the end of the film. It's just him running away, and it's like, oh my God, we might get a third one, and oh my God, that was so awesome.
But you gotta love the line that he said before he ran. Send them all. Send everyone. I'll kill them all. I'm like,
and Ian McShane, of course you will.
That's why we love Ian McShane.
Ian McShane is fucking awesome. But that man is a fucking pimp.
There's so much. There's so much awesomeness in this film. I mean, even the fight with Common, going back to the Continental Grounds. They're beating the shit out of each other, and then they both throw each other through the window, which ends up being on Continental Grounds. And they're both wanting to finish killing each other, and they don't realize where they're at. And then Franco Nero comes out and says, "Hey, you're on Continental Grounds," and they both just get up and dust themselves off, and they go buy each other a drink. That's what's awesome about this movie. This movie's it's fun.
And that was something else.
Fun. It's violent. The action sequences are exciting.
Yeah.
There's characters in there that you like.
Yeah, and the Common character, we've never seen him before.
No.
And what was really interesting about his character's introduction and his establishment in the film is that he was the keeper of the sister that had the hit put out on her by her brother.
Yeah.
And so when he fails, he goes immediately after John Wick, and they have this long ass fight. And because John Wick's not a total outright bastard. When they're fighting, the end of their fight ends in the subway, I believe.
Yes.
And it comes down to a knife, and John Wick gets him right in the chest, and he's like, "This blade is in your aorta. If you move it, you will die. I consider this a professional courtesy," and he lets him live.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting because now we have this new character. What's gonna happen with this character in the third movie?
Is he gonna return?
Is he gonna come after him, or is he gonna end up being an unlikely ally?
Yeah.
I found that very
I like how he
interesting.
was laughing. They showed Common again. He's stabbed, and he's just sitting there like.
It's true.
Will Lawrence Fishburne's character return?
They would have to at this point.
Yeah.
This movie is too good
Yeah.
at living and breathing and abiding by its establishing, like its prior establishments and what it's brought to the table. Again, this movie felt completely a part of the first movie. It's literally just it's chapter 2.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is, and I love it for it.
So we give John Wick Chapter 2 4.9 out of 5 ninja stars. That's it for today's episode of The Movie Dojo. So sorry, we just had some technical difficulties with our camera, and Lady Fat Blood had to go to bed because she has to go to work early tomorrow. So let me know if you guys have seen John Wick Chapter 2. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Is it one of the greatest action sequels of all time, or is it overrated? Let me know. And as always, thanks again for watching. You guys rock. Stay tuned for my next review of Sammo Hung's The Bodyguard. See you next time.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.